Greetings, fellow Star Trek Starship collector. This is Joshua Mitchell here. We've got our 5th episode with Fanhome, the SS Eleos XII. This is Beverly Crusher's ship from Star Trek Picard Season 3. Got literally tossed around a bit during that season. We're going to take a look together, unboxing the detail of the ship, how it compares to other models in Fanhome's Star Trek series. So let's take a look together. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our unboxing of the SS Eleos XII. Okay, haven't seen any kind of issues with this online from others who have received it. I'll also say this came a lot faster. I'm so glad that they're no longer using OSM worldwide for their shipping, and instead they're using FedEx. This came maybe 10 days faster for me now that they've changed shipping partners. So hopefully it's the same for you. As always, here we go. We've got our nice little booklet of the Eleos XII. So of course, as we look through the book, it's a Phoenix class, of course, captained by Beverly Crusher. The interesting design documents. The colors on these things always look different. Like, it doesn't look as gold in the images that they're showing in the design document as compared to what you would see on the actual model or even what you saw on the show itself. Of course, they were in that nebula there for so long that it could have just kind of warped the colors. But again, a cool design document. Pretty neat to see how they created this little guy. I feel like the Eleos XII looks like a horseshoe crab with warp engines attached. And so here she is. There we are. So definitely has it's gold. It looks gold in person. You can see that the warp engines, again, have got that clear look to it, so you can get some nice lighting going on with that. It's got some good heft to it as well. A lot of the die cast there on the top. A little bummed that the deflector dish isn't also the same material as the warp engines. Instead, it's just painted on. That's a little disappointing. And looks like our our old friend the window issue has returned. But so here we go, the SS Eleos XII, Beverly Crusher's ship from Star Trek Picard Season 3. So let's take a closer look. So here we have the forward dorsal area of the Eleos XII. The registry number, it looks a little beat up, which makes sense. The ship was supposed to have been in service now for some 40 or 50 years, according to the design doc. The Aztecing, it's definitely gold and blue, looks pretty cool with the pattern. Disappointed in the deflector dish that it's just painted on and not the material of the warp engines, but that's okay. And as we carry on, here's the bridge module, which we never actually see the bridge of the Eleos XII. We see the deck below where the more squared section is at. That way they could reuse a set from Picard Season 2. But again, some cool detail on the bridge module, back on the landing bay that's behind it where ships could dock. The warp governor running here in between the two warp nacelles. Both nacelles are at a bit of a tilt and an angle, as we can kind of see here, which is an interesting design as well. The warp governor definitely harkens back to the NX-01, and that was part of the design process too. Now, back here we can see the impulse engines painted bright orange. Again, a big miss on the Enterprise F that the impulse engines weren't there, but it's nice to see them here on the Eleos, and again, another good view of the docking area. Now, I am a little disappointed here with the ventral side. Again, the Aztecing detail, the gold and blue is really cool. Here's the undersection. But there's just not much going on under here. It's really boring. All of the action is taking place up on the top side of the ship. Down here it's just very basic, as you can see with some of the decorations. That isn't to say it doesn't look nice, but it's dull. There's not as much going on here. Pretty simple, as you can see as we're continuing to run along. Now here's a nice side view from the starboard side. Try to get some lighting going through those engines to make them appear to be lit up. And then here we get in close to see our friend has returned. So here, again, we have indentations where the windows should be on this ship. And the paint, it misses the mark. They just can't seem to nail these window indentations. Not a major deal. Maybe some of you it would be a bigger deal. I can kind of look past it. Although the color difference maybe makes it stand out a bit more this time around than on some other starships from the past. Here's another cool look. I thought it was kind of neat to see like a little impulse engine here below the warp engine. That was kind of interesting. And then as we kind of follow this around, another view on the underside with the impulse engines lit up, Again, a little sparse on the detail underneath here. It is nice to see the bright orange where the impulse engines are. And then again here on this side as we follow it down. Here's a nice forward profile of the Starship. Again, highlighting the deflector dish that looks nice but is pretty basic. Here's the landing pad for the shuttle. I really like the design. I think it looks pretty cool, so I wanted to feature that one more time. And then here, this is where they operated out of in the ship. This is the secondary bridge, essentially. This is where the view screen would be, and I'm a little disappointed that they didn't paint anything here to make it look like a screen. It's all just gold like the rest of the hull. And there she is, the Eleos XII. We're comparing the sizes of these vessels now. So here's the Eleos XII next to the USS Titan. And the USS Titan is coming in at 8 5/8 inches, while the Eleos XII is coming in at a solid 8 inches on its own. Looking at another Picard-era ship, here we'll take a look at the Eleos versus the Stargazer, with the Stargazer coming in at 7 3/4 inches to Eleos XII's 8 inches. So a little comparison there between our Star Trek Picard vessels. Now, we'll move on to look at another Picard vessel. This is the Eleos XII up against the USS Enterprise F. So the Enterprise F is coming in at 10 1/2 inches to the Eleos XII's 8 inches. This makes sense because the Enterprise is an XL model. So here we've got a nice comparison of an XL and regular Fanhome Starship. And so there we have it, the SS Eleos XII, Beverly Crusher's ship from Star Trek Picard Season 3. Definitely stands out as different, not just in its shape and design. It almost looks older, kind of cobbled together, but the gold with the blue accents is also a very different kind of look. Nice detail with the Aztecing. Disappointed in the deflector dish. I wish it was the same material as the warp nacelles. And the window issue is back. Not a big deal for me, again, but for some of you, it may be. It's a cool looking ship, but to be honest, it probably won't stay in my collection, compared to some of the others. But maybe you feel differently. If you do, feel free to comment below and let me know your thoughts. But until then, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Come back next month as we take a look at Vadic's ship, Shrike. The Shrike from Season 3 Star Trek Picard, the villain vessel that they had to deal with. We look forward to diving again into the details of that ship, seeing how it compares to the rest of the collection. Until then, I'm Joshua Mitchell. Live long and prosper.